And as the days passed, I found myself strangely eager each night, because every time Monica thought she was outsmarting me, she was only feeding the fire that would eventually consume her. And sure enough, she returned again and again, always after midnight, always with that smug little glance over her shoulder, her flashlight beam slicing through the dark as she picked the lock I had left for her like bait. And every time she plugged in her Tesla, I could almost hear her laugh at me in her head, mocking me, thinking I was powerless while her car filled with stolen energy. But what she didn't know was that her car wasn't gaining a single mile of charge. It was my home battery that grew stronger with each session. While the cameras caught her at every angle, from the determined set of her jaw to the way she brushed her hair back in satisfaction when the dashboard blinked green, and the files piled up in my cloud folder like a prosecutor's dream case, a library of arrogance, each clip more damning than the last, until Marcus joked that we had enough footage to make a documentary, and Lena, ever the voice of reason, warned me to be careful. Because people like Monica didn't just crumble when exposed, sometimes they struck back. But I told her this wasn't just about stopping Monica anymore. This was about showing the entire neighborhood what kind of leader they had elected, a woman who smiled in the day and stole in the night. And as I sat by the window watching her shadowy routine, I thought about how predators always believe they are invisible, right up until the moment they realize someone has been watching the whole time. And I knew that when the trap finally snapped shut, it would be glorious. Yet the more I watched her, the more reckless she became, as if the thrill of getting away with it emboldened her. And one night she even lingered by the charger, pulling out her phone and taking a smug little selfie next to my equipment, as though she were documenting her private joke. And that picture, that tiny act of vanity, sealed her fate even tighter, because when the time came to expose her, that arrogance would be the nail in her coffin. Proof that she didn't just take, she gloated, she celebrated, and that would make her downfall even sweeter. Marcus urged me to push the system further, to add new angles, sharper audio, higher resolution captures, and though I wondered if it was overkill, I agreed. Because with every upgrade we installed, I felt closer to not just catching Monica, but absolutely erasing her carefully manufactured image of authority. And meanwhile, Lena kept me grounded, reminding me to act smart, not rash, to wait for the perfect moment when exposure would sting the most. And so I waited, quietly collecting, quietly smiling as Monica thought she was queen of the night. But fate has a way of testing even the most careful hunter, and one evening, just as I stepped outside to adjust one of the cameras, Monica rounded the corner earlier than usual, her Tesla creeping down the street with its headlights dimmed, and my heart jumped as I ducked behind the hedges, holding my breath as she parked right beside me, so close I could smell her expensive perfume drifting through the open window. And for a moment I thought she had caught me, that all of it, the cameras, the trap, the recordings, was about to unravel in an instant. But then she muttered to herself, pulled out her lockpick kit, and strutted to the charger, oblivious to the fact that I was crouched just a few feet away. And as I watched her smug little routine from that close, I realized that Monica wasn't just stealing electricity. She was stealing dignity. She was mocking every neighbor she claimed to serve, every rule she claimed to enforce. And I clenched my fists, reminding myself to stay quiet, to let the trap do the work, because exposing her at the right time would cut deeper than any angry confrontation in the dark. And so I swallowed my pride, held my breath, and let her walk away, satisfied with her false victory while the cameras captured everything. And when her Tesla rolled off into the night, I exhaled, knowing that patience was my sharpest weapon. By then the evidence was undeniable, a mountain of proof that could crush her. But I wanted the timing to be perfect, the stage dramatic, the blow unforgettable. And that chance came in the form of the quarterly HOA meeting, the very gathering where Monica usually basked in her role as queen of the neighborhood, handing out shallow compliments and shallow punishments, smiling as if the world existed for her approval. And I decided that was where the mask would finally shatter, where I would hold up the mirror and let everyone see the monster lurking beneath her polished surface. And as the day of the meeting approached, I prepared like a general before battle, organizing the clips into a sequence that told the story with brutal clarity. The midnight sneaks, the smug smiles, the fake padlock popping open, the cables being stolen, the fake charging lights, even the damning selfie she had taken, all set to timestamps and logs that proved beyond doubt what she had done. And as I tested the projector, I could already imagine the silence that would fall across the room, the gasps, the whispers, the humiliation spreading across Monica's carefully painted face. And that thought fueled me with a cold fire. Because justice wasn't just about punishment, it was about truth. about stripping away the lies until the raw arrogance stood naked for everyone to see. And Monica Hale was about to be stripped bare in front of the very people she believed she ruled.